I want you to notice how two areas that are being monitored in the Atlantic both have a little X marking, meaning there is a cluster of storms that we're able to observe and watch. Not as quite as much for Gordon. Gordon is just about done, but we don't have that X marking with regards to our system that could potentially develop in the Gulf or Northwest Caribbean because there isn't anything there. The reason for this highlighted area is because the models have been indicating that potential, but there isn't anything there at the moment. What we do have is kind of thunderstorms all across the region. This is that Central American gyre. So the big question is going to be, what, if any, of these areas of thunderstorms, where they develop and where do they go? Is it possible that this area never actually evolves and maybe it's a little bit something that's more in the Eastern Pacific? Absolutely. All options are on the table right now. And what you're going to notice here is that as we get through the weekend and into early next week, the models are indicating kind of a little energy moving from the Eastern Pacific north of Honduras and then into the Northwestern Caribbean. This is where the models have been hinting at something starting to form, but that really doesn't happen until maybe Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday of next week. This is the GFS in red. This is the Euro in green. The GFS a little bit more aggressive with an organized system moving northward, maybe toward the north central Gulf Coast, toward Florida, maybe toward Texas, maybe so. The Euro has more of a oblong big rainmaker. So they are still very much in disagreement with what will happen through next week. But notice the window of something actually forming and possibly moving toward land is going to be very, very quick, at least the way the models are setting up right now. Some model runs have had something getting into the Gulf and then just kind of sitting for a while. That's not what we want to see. What the models are picking up on is this. We currently have kind of this elongated trough off the East Coast that extends all the way down to the Yucatan. Over time, the eastern side of this trough at kind of the base is going to start kind of kicking off a little broad rotation in the Northwestern Caribbean. That's where we start to see some organization. And then as we get later into the week, that system starts trying to move northward and then go somewhere in the Gulf of Mexico. But again, this even happening is not written in stone. So what we're looking at for the questions, especially early next week, these probably won't even be answered this weekend. What, if anything, actually enters the Gulf? Is it just a big, unorganized mess of thunderstorms or already an organized tropical system? Tropical storm, maybe a hurricane. Where exactly does it enter? Is it more the Yucatan Channel? Is it maybe from the Bay of Campeche? And the timing of that, which will be key in the steering currents at that moment, would draw the storm in any direction across the Gulf of Mexico. So at the moment, still more questions than answers. We'll be watching it through the weekend, but as I've said, we probably won't really know anything with a little bit more certainty until maybe the middle of next week. So we still have a long way to watch. What's, I guess, a little bit more disheartening with folks is that if something does try and organize Tuesday or Wednesday, it may be moving on land by Friday. So that window is going to be close. So I would have maybe just the semblance of preparations this weekend. But again, it may be nothing. We've only